Hey everybody, alright, what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be showing you how to wire up your Night Rider LED light bar up to your battery. Right here is what I have, which would significantly help you in installing this correctly the proper way. So I'm going to go over some of the little materials that we have here. Right here we have a terminal assortment. It's got a various different things for connecting wires together and putting wires on nuts and bolts and so on and so forth. Here we have a 18-inch or 18 gauge hookup wire. Here we have some electrical tape, some heavy duty zip ties. These here are great. This is heat shrink tubing. Got wire cutters, a flathead screwdriver. We have a 10 millimeter, a 13 millimeter socket head, and a hex key or a star key head, along with the socket, an inline fuse, box of fuses, and if you have the engine air intake, this would be a leftover piece that attaches to the chassis of the car. Okay guys, first things first, we need to remove this black plate here. As you can see, it has 4 of these 10 millimeter bolts holding it in place. It has 6 of these plastic attachment pieces, and it has these 2 right here that are for your hex keys or a star key. What you can do, you can go in here and you can remove this latch here. I'm not going to do it, I can get mine off without doing it, but there's 2 bolts inside of here that I can see right there that you would use to take this off. But if you do decide to take off the latch, make sure you mark the inside in here and underneath with say a marker, or kind of scratch it or something, so that you know exactly where to install the latch once you go to put it back in. Okay, now that I got 4 10 millimeter bolts out, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to demonstrate how to take out these little plastic pieces here. Now, what's easy about these things here, you can just take your flat tip screwdriver here, wedge it underneath the little notch, and slowly just kind of pry it up. Until you raise it up enough to where you can easily just pull it out. Take this piece here off, and as well, if you want to get underneath, pop out the bottom piece too. They're very easy to put back in. I'll demonstrate how to put them back in once we go to wrap everything up. Alright, now that I got those 6 plastic pieces out, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking out this little star key bolts. Stick this in here, and you want to keep track of how many times you turn it, because this can affect the height of your hood to your bumper here. Mine was roughly about 6 full turns. Right out, just like that. Alright, now that I got my my black plate off, what we're going to do is I'm going to get the light bar, we're going to put this in. I find the best way to do is go ahead and slide this in there, and then take the end here and go ahead and push it through to the other side. At least that way, if you drop it inside, you're going to be able to get it back and not have to dig for it. Now, where you would put this wire through is right up underneath here on the other side of the radiator. You have a little opening here that has a little plastic flap on it. You want to end up going through there because it's just a straight shot. Just like that. Now this is the back side of the radiator, so you can get a better view of where this cable is coming through at. See right down here where it comes through this little plastic sheet here between the bumper and the firewall. There's plenty of room in here where you can pull it through a little bit more and stick it back behind all these other little wires and tubes and stuff, so at least you can get a decent looking appearance of it being able to hide some of your wires. Alright, and so now that you got your wire pushed back there, you can decide where exactly you want to have your light bar. Now, on mine, what I'm doing, there's 2 little holes already back here on this metal panel right below the latch. I'm going to be zip tying mine into there. Now what Wizard and some of the other people did was they went in here and they took a Dremel and they drilled itty bitty holes in these right here in the very back. Fairly easy to do from this side. If you have a small enough drill, you would easily be able to get in there and drill a hole. And if you had any small zip ties, you would just zip tie from this side to this side, make a loop around it, and then when you put your light bar in, another zip tie behind that going vertical. So one going horizontal this way, and then one vertical this way to attach it to the back of these pillars. I'm going to be going with the 2 holes in the back. And these holes, as you can see, there's one right there and one right there. And that way, from here you can't really see the light bar as much. All you can really see is just a real nice deep glow back behind. But I will be fabricating another piece to go over the top of the light to keep the light from shining up through the cracks in the hood. Now as you can see here, I now have my light bar in place. I have my zip ties in place, and they've been snipped to keep it having a nice and neat appearance. So from here, we're going to go to placing the box and running the wires. Alright, now what we have here is I've already gone in and placed my box in. I put my box in right here. It's a considerably dry area where not a whole lot of water is going to get to it. It's up out of the way and it's barely even noticeable. Here you got your antenna for your remote, and then your wiring right here. Now since the wire comes out right here and I stuffed it in nice and neat back in the back here, we're going to go ahead and connect these. Make sure they're real nice and tight. And stick that down and out of the way a little bit. Alright, now the wiring from the box over here, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be running our wire up and around. Now here's where you need to find yourself a good ground. A ground is always essential whenever you're doing any kind of electrical work. Now it's very important that you have a good ground, and a good ground would be a nice clean metal to metal surface, preferably the chassis of the vehicle. Now on the cars that do not have the engine intake installed, you'll see a little bolt looking like this, and this goes right in over here. Now you can see where mine's been replaced over here, but this would be an excellent source of a ground for you guys on the inside of this bolt here with one of the little terminal connectors, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. Now me, for example, I went ahead and I'm putting my ground over here on one of these bolts. Over here, I'm going to show you, I'm going to be using a size 10 spade tongue here on my ground wire that I'm going to be attaching to my ground point over here. These are pretty easy. Just cut your wire, cut it to a decent length, twist it real good, and you stick it right down inside of here, just like this. And then you take your wire cutters, which should have a plier-like thing on there, and you're going to crimp this. Crimp it nice and tight so that the wire stays on there nice and good. Do it a few times just to make sure that it is nice and tight and it's not going to be going anywhere. Alright, now this here, once you loosen up your bolts, you take your ground wire, you're going to slide it right underneath the bolt, right here. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're going to tighten the bolt up. Make sure it is nice and tight as well. There, now you have your ground nice and snug on a good chassis ground.